We are back. The broadcast, it's 9-ish 06. We're ready to hit the ground running and talking all things politics, San Antonio, pop culture, state stuff, national news, you name it. We're here for you tonight. This is your platform, so the number one thing we want you to do right now, and we already see people logging on. Oops, my wife is already on the podcast, so that means I have to behave like almost immediately. But Ray Rodriguez, welcome. Renee, it's good to see you. Michael Gonzalez is up. Ellen, hello. Everybody's logging in right now, so it's good to see everybody come out tonight. Share. Like this podcast, tag it, hit a friend with it, whatever you got to do, but share it. The more information we get out there, the more we put this out there, the more information you're going to get to be able to make educated decisions, right, about things like who you're voting for, what's happening at City Hall, and it's just things happening in the news, period. Plus, on the broadcast, we talk about everything, so it's not for the faint of heart. I'm not going to lie to you. We like to put the information out there and tell people what we think, so if your feelings get hurt, I'm going to apologize in advance for hurting your sensitive ears or your feelings. But we're going to get after it tonight and have a good time. We've got Tony Gonzalez, who's running for Congress, in the house tonight, and we're going to talk about everything from climate change to a little bit on guns again, and we're going to follow our normal format, which always starts with fun stuff. Because look, if we're going to get into the real meat of the situation, if we're going to talk about hard-hitting subjects, I always tell everybody, let's start with something nice, fun, and friendly. And some of the first things we always start with is the shirt I'm wearing. And tonight, this is no joke, and I'm kind of sad my wife actually logged in quickly because I didn't want to tell her I had 2 carne asada tacos from Bill Miller's. So Salo, many apologies. Which reminds, don't forget, Salo's moving himself more and more off the back over here in the corner. So Salo is with us tonight. Salo Rodriguez, of course, helps manufacture all this, and he does all this work. If you have any need in the world to ever want to do a podcast, you want to stream, you want video, you want marketing work, reach out to Salo's. Information's in the post. Grab a hold of that and let him know what you're up to, whether it's a business, personal, or you want to do a podcast, you name it. Salo, thank you for always being. I miss you up on the table, my man. Well, he'll get back. But look, tonight, like I said, I pulled into Bill Miller's to get a tea, and I just happened to grab a couple carne asada tacos because, I'm on the keto diet, and that qualifies. I'm almost positive, Salo, that the carne asada taco, I think, is keto approved. I'm not totally sure yet, but I'm pretty sure it works. And then I saw this gem right here. Check that out, Tyler. Tyler's behind the camera. Charlie's over there as well. Apparently, Bill Miller's is capitalizing on Americana. Check that out. I'm trying not. Oh, we're going to put the shirt too close to me right there because it might seem a little cold in the room. Okay, my wife probably did not like that joke. So here we go. I'm already in trouble. I'm 5 minutes into the podcast. This ain't good. But Bill Miller's, check this gem out. Look at this. Bill Miller's. All right, loving it. Let's put a couple of fun stuff, right? So let's start with some things that are really cool and make some sense. I also like to show a video. So there's a video that popped up on that's going viral. It's of this dude who is smoking a cigarette while a bar is getting robbed. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but Salo, play that man's true courage in the face of criminal activity. You're going to love this one. Here it is. Look at this dude. He's the guy on the left. I think he's got a cigarette in his hand. And here it comes. Hold on a second. Yep, here starts the robbery. Now check him out. He's got his phone right there. This is true bravery. Now one guy's hiding. The other guy sneaks down on the side himself. Okay, now here comes. Okay, now the robbery's not funny. Yeah, can't grab the phone. Dude's behind the bar. By the way, totally did not try to hide or disguise his face for this robbery. Like, dude is totally on. Okay, look, he lights up his cigarette. Guy's chilling out. His phone's ringing. Guy has no cares in the world. Look at this. Okay, the other guy's. Okay, that's not cool. No people were harmed in this robbery. Here comes the cash out of it, and old boy's still sitting there, chilling out. Look, taking the money, having a good old time. So, you know what? That is true courage in the face of what had to have been a scary situation for the other 7 people in the bar. But he just hung out there right now, smoking a cigarette, as chill and relaxed as possible. No harm, no foul. He got it made right there. Justin Holland. Edith. Hey, somebody else's wife just logged in. Edith is here too. Now we have 2 wives. Salo's wife and my wife are watching. That's double behavior now. We cannot. Now we have to be careful who we offend because now we have 2 wives watching. So let's go to. All right. Now, second thing I want to bring up real quick. There, I want y'all to take a look at this because there's this guy in San Antonio. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but his site is called Exposing Online Predators San Antonio. So this website, this Facebook page, got turned on to me, Saulo. I think actually my wife is the one that shared it to me. And this guy right here, so Exposing Online Predators San Antonio, his site is blowing up in the city. Now what he's doing is he creates a profile and goes after, men out in the community and pretends, over the profile that he's underage, and he solicits these men to show up at places across the city, and then he films them and he exposes them on social media. So I reached out to him and talked to him a little bit today just to find out, what in the world got him into this? So like this one right here, this 29-year-old came out after only chatting 2 hours to meet with who he thought was a 14-year-old for burgers after 11 p.m. But this gentleman's site is going crazy right now. He's getting like tens of thousands of views on these videos. And he literally, remember the old guy from MSNBC, To Catch a Predator? Yeah, I don't remember the guy's name. A free t-shirt, whoever sends me his name on the next possible post. I got to get you a t-shirt. I got to get you a t-shirt. Whatever the guy's name is from To Catch a Predator, we need it on here right now. Come on, people. Come on. Chris Hansen. Who said that?
Me.
Oh. Tyler, you're not allowed to win the contest. You're part of the crew, bro.
I didn't know.
Did you Google that?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh, dude. I'm sorry, America. Okay, Adam Ortiz got Chris Hansen. No, he put Chris Henson. And just like Alex Trebek, if you don't get it exactly right, you're out of here. Chris Hansen did this, and he would catch him. Well, this Exposing Online Predators San Antonio, look at this. We're going to hit 10,000 followers. This is in the span of a couple of weeks. He went from like 3 to 5 to 8 to 10,000 followers. Many have asked to post the first catch made. I'll save that for the 10K special. Well, he's already at 10K. I asked him why he's doing it, and I got to get this guy to come on and have a conversation with us. He wears a mask. I don't know, but he exposes people legit, and it, for some reason it's around Walmarts right now. I don't know, and it's in the Alamo Ranch area. He's catching these people all over the city. So I want to we're going to try to get him to have a conversation about how are you doing this? What's SAPD doing about this? Because it's freaking people out across the city that he catches these folks, and then he actually posts their Twitter conversations or their text conversations, and then he goes and catches them and films them. So we got to find out what's up with this, and it comes from, I guess you can kind of call it a little bit of a vigilante thing. I don't know what he's doing, but we want to follow up with him and see, is this leading to anything? Is he turning these people in? I'm not even sure SAPD can do anything with this stuff, Saulo, but nonetheless, his site is something else, and check it out, Online Predators San Antonio. A couple of things I want to make sure we have some conversations on, some topics for the next couple of weeks, and we're going to get into our guest here. Number one is put that Not England thing up. Sometimes we get upset in San Antonio, Texas, in the United States, right, that our politics and things aren't working out as great as we please. It should be somebody with Boris Johnson on there, Not England. Put that one. So, hey, no matter how bad it gets, hey, we're not England, right? Right? Texas isn't seceding. Brexit's not leaving the European Union. Brexit vote goes against Boris Johnson. He calls for an election. Look, no matter how bad things get, hey, man, we still got a lot going for us right here. Hey, we're not Boris Johnson. The government completely voted against him today. Some are calling him the European Trump, obviously, Boris Johnson. And, he's going to call for what they call a snap election, which they may have to reset the entire Brexit discussion, which has been going for 3 years. Over the last 3 years, have been trying to figure out how to get a deal to save their country from the exit of the European Union. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. And then another future topic, I think something we want to talk about that was brought in and sent in to us. Put up that one about from Chasten Buttigieg. So Chasten Buttigieg put up a note here. Judd Deere, I don't know if I'm going to do who that is. For all of you who still think our VP, Mike Pence, is anti-gay, I point you to his and the second lady's schedule tomorrow, where they will join Taos each, whatever that is, and his partner, Dr. Matthew Barrett, for lunch in Ireland. All right, Leo Varadkar. And then, so Chasten Buttigieg is Pete Buttigieg's, Buttigieg, it's his husband. So he said, I have sat at tables with people who would gladly deny me the right to marry, who openly support conversion therapy, and who adamantly believe being gay is a choice. Doesn't mean they're any less homophobic because we shared a meal. So we're going to see this in the national politics really start to ramp up Pete Buttigieg is, a top 5 candidate in the Democratic primary right now. And of course, that's his husband. So I think we should have a conversation on this in the future, Salo. I think the time has come because someone sent this to me and said, hey, Greg, broadcast, you need to have a conversation about LGBTQ rights. And it has to be both sides. It just can't be one person on one end saying something and then not a rebuttal. So we're going to look to try to bring this up because this is a fair point that Buttigieg's husband made, which is what constitutes a homophobic behavior and what does it. And then what does the LGBTQ community want to see? What are they looking for? What are they fighting for? And then what does the faith community feel about that? What does the political community feel about that? It's a great discussion. And I think it's perfect for the broadcast, so we're gonna put that one together too over the next few weeks and bring that one to you. So fun stuff, right? Our fearless bar patron in the middle of a robbery, and of course online exposing. We're gonna keep an eye on that guy big time because he seems to be railing against the system here in San Antonio. And then of course we've got Pete Buttigieg and some other things we're gonna work on. So big stuff coming. Like it, share it, tag it, and tell everybody you know. Oh, one more. Do you have that Salazar pick? I got to do this one, and then we got to get to Tony. Tony's waiting. Put it. I'm sorry. I gotta talk about this one. So Sheriff Salazar and my daughter's logged in from Texas Tech. My wife, love is love with a heart right there. Mary Jane, first Hispanic woman precinct 2 constable. Christy King, good to see you. So Sheriff Salazar showed up on News 4 yesterday, and this is an interesting piece. It says Sheriff Salazar tracks down missing inmates. So the Bexar County Jail released I actually accidentally released. I don't know how that occurs in the jail system. It's like 10th or 12th person. But Sheriff Salazar went and caught this person right around the block, I guess. And you can see he looks really happy there in his red shirt and beard in what it looks like a photo op or a selfie that was taken by somebody, maybe by an aide or another sheriff or who knows who. But the picture's taken and says Sheriff Salazar tracks down missing inmate himself. Like he went and did the job himself. All I want to say, because we're going to dig deeper into this topic in the future too, but all I want to say is maybe they shouldn't have gotten out in the first place. I don't know. I mean, I could be a little out of whack on this one politically. I don't know. But instead of praising you catching the wrongly released inmate, perhaps you should just not let them out in the first place. Okay, so maybe. I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. You can just walk in. I got a meme, too, at the end that's really classic. But, look, the jail's got some issues with that. But I don't think it makes a lot of sense to be putting that up there and praising it when, in fact, there was another breakdown. Another person, I guess, just said, you know what, I've had enough of this jail system. I'm out. And he just walked right out of the building. So we'll figure that out, but another topic for the future. So good stuff. We're looking forward to it. Let's get into the big show. I am thrilled tonight that we are welcoming Tony Gonzalez. Put that slide up right there. Look at this guy. That is one sharp dude. Anybody ever seen The Godfather? Okay. If you've watched The Godfather, let's see if anybody's watched this. Has anybody watched The Godfather? Arguello may have seen The Godfather. Gabe Lara. Hey, put that picture back up there, man. Come on. Don't go too fast. You're ruining my joke. So if anybody remembers, Luca Brasi walked in to see The Godfather, right? On the day of his daughter's wedding. Connie, the day of his daughter's wedding. And Luca Brasi walked in and he said, I hope your firstborn child, is a masculine child. And that's Tony Gonzalez. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Okay, so legitimately, let's bring in Tony. Tony, come on in and sit down, my man. Right. And you are killing it.
Yeah,
so first things first, you should never show up the host. On the T-shirt game. I don't know what you're doing, but Mike Mahalski, if you're out there watching this, you should be ashamed of yourself, Mike, for giving that shirt to Tony. Yeah. Let's get this. Hold on. Look at that, man. Yeah, I'm not grabbing or punching you. I'm just trying to make it. Okay, come on, man.
No suit tonight, right?
No.
I got to show up and show them 2A all the way.
If you showed up in a legitimate, right, shirt, Sons of Liberty Gunworks, and you didn't show up in a suit like your toxic masculinity shot at the beginning of the video, dude, you're killing it. Welcome to the show. We're happy to have you here.
Absolutely.
Running for Congress,
that's right,
my friend.
Yeah.
By the way, up front, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, Tony is having his kickoff party here at Orsinger Park,
Yes.
7 p.m. on Thursday night.
That's it.
Launching his campaign. Let me just set the stage here real quick. There's 2 other people in the primary with you, Dr. Alma Arredondo Lynch and Raul, retired Colonel Raul, I think he's Lieutenant Colonel or whatever, Raul Reyes. And then on the Democratic side, from what I know there is a Liz Wall running, but of course there's Gina Ortiz-Jones, who last session fell about 900 votes short of Will Hurd. Will Hurd, the long term for District 23, he retired. So he stepped down, stunning the political community, and now the seat is open. So welcome. First question I ask any candidate, having been a ridiculous candidate myself.
Yes.
What in the world are you doing, self-humiliating yourself, going for a public seat, especially Congress in today's world? Talk to us. Tell us what you're at.
Here's the deal. So, I retired from the Navy 32 days ago. I love America. Okay, I joined it at 18 years old, and I just retired. What's important to me is making sure America stays the way it is. Okay, and it happens at all levels: the local level, state level, federal level. For me, at the federal level, what I see is this political rhetoric that is just tearing us apart. On the left side, you got Nancy Pelosi and that group just pulling us further and further left, America further and further left. This socialist movement is just taking hold, and it scares the heck out of me. So it's important, I think, to throw my name in the hat and fight for conservative values. You mentioned a few people that ran previously, and this is Texas. This isn't other parts of the country. So imagine if we were to have an AOC type person representing us in Texas. Does not represent our values, right? I wore this shirt for a reason. I'm a 2A guy, and I think 2A is important. That's one of our platform issues. Another one is national security. That's extremely important to me. I've done that my entire adult life. And then veteran affairs, man. We can't forget about those that have served our country so well and for so long. We have to take care of them.
Man, dude, this guy just killed it inside of 2 minutes right there. Okay, I'm going to drill down on that now. So let's get a little bit into what you're talking about. So first things first, though, I want to know who you are. What's the family situation?
Absolutely.
Let's know about the wife and where you come from, because people don't know. Tony sent me a link to kind of prepare for this, and one of the things is this is your life story. I think part of it, look, anybody who serves or wears a uniform, it's a brotherhood that nobody knows unless you've actually put on a uniform.
That's right.
I don't care what position you were. You may have been security police. I worked on nuclear missiles, ICBMs. You could have been a frontline combat or forward combat regiment. It could be anything, right?
Sure.
Doesn't matter what you did in the military. Everybody played a role, and it's like a brotherhood. So talk to me a little bit about the military service, what that taught you.
Yep.
Talked about the family and the hard work you put into.
Of course.
And then what brought you to this. Before we get into the policy stuff, because I think it's huge that people know whoever comes on here, and anybody's invited on the broadcast. Republican, Democrat, Independent, makes no difference. Anybody can come on and have this conversation, but I want people to know who you are.
So
because I think that's people vote for the person.
That's right. So and that's part of it. Part of it is candidates. We have to have candidates that are worth it. Bring people out and to have them vote for it. So it starts there. But for my story, I joined the Navy at 18 years old as an E1, and I was fortunate enough to make it all the way to E9. I retired as a Master Chief. So all I know is hard work. I'm a blue collar guy. I come from a blue collar family. I was raised in San Antonio and South Texas, split my time between San Antonio, and then in third grade we moved out to the Hill Country with my grandparents. We moved out to Campwood Hills in Edwards County. We lived there till 7th grade, and then my grandfather had a heart attack. Unfortunately, we had to move to Devine. I finished the rest of my middle school years in Devine, and then I came back to San Antonio. So at the heart of who I am, I'm this inner city kid who can get in a knife fight, and then I'm this rural kid. And that's what it's going to take. This is a congressional race in a presidential year in the biggest swing district at all.
And married and kids? Or
We've got 5 kids. I've got 5 kids. Beautiful wife, Angel, at home, who's supported me in every form and fashion, and we appreciate. I couldn't do that without any of them.
How old are the kids?
My oldest she's 18. She just started 18? At UTSA. I've got a 15-year-old. I've got a 4-year-old. I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old. So and everything in between.
So Tony has officially lined out college tuition payments
forever.
forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Forever, right? So, all right, well, thank you for that. Thank you for letting us know a little bit about yourself. You said something that was very important. I think people are going to ask this question.
Yeah.
Will was in that seat and held it for a few years,
Sure.
which is on the 23rd Congressional District flips back and forth frequently. He was in the fight of his life the last election. In fact, Gina Ortiz-Jones didn't even concede for weeks. She attended freshman orientation
Sure.
as if she won.
Sure.
And then, of course, it came back. She was 900 and something votes short. So she's coming into this machine with a lot of support, and from what I'm understanding, millions of dollars to keep this seat, to flip this seat back to the Democratic Party. We all know people in the Democratic Party after Texas. They want to turn it blue. We get it. How do you feel about your strategy? What do you think is going to differentiate you? Because you're new to the game, at least from San Antonio politics, right? You've had a great fundraising month. I want you to talk about that too.
Absolutely.
But talk about who's endorsed you and what your feel is.
Yeah.
If you get head to head here with Gina, how is that going to work out for you?
So step one is this district is a conservative district, okay? They have conservative values in it. Regardless if they vote Democrat or Republican, those are labels, they have conservative values. So that's part of our message, is reaching out to them. Look, you can be young and be conservative. You can be Hispanic and be conservative. You can be from a urban area and be conservative. That's part of what we want to bring to this district. Look, we've done some amazing things in a short period of time, right? So our campaign has been going on for a little over 30 days, and we've raised $100K. We put $100K in the bank,
Can you put
which has been amazing.
Slide up? Put that slide up from Patrick Zvitek from the Texas Tribune. Oh, I'm sorry. This was an accident. We shouldn't have put this one up just yet.
Sorry.
So Tony was on a roll. We're going to get you on that one. We're going to pick on you here in a second. Put the 100K one up there. I had a secret attack on you there.
I see that.
You gotta. We're going to make fun of you when it's all said and done. Okay, this is huge. So Tony Gonzalez for Texas. Talk to us about.
Here's the thing. Look, we've raised $100K, and these aren't from political elites. We're talking blue collar individuals that have never donated a penny to anybody, to any campaign. I'll give you an example. I have a one of my contributors, disabled vet on a fixed income. Okay, my man takes out a loan for $2,800 and gives me a max contribution.
Whoa.
You get that, right? Never donated, never involved with any campaign or anything. You get that type of support, and it's your responsibility to be a good steward, not only of those funds, but to win, right? And we can win in March and in November.
So $100,000. Your other two opponents have, I think, one has ran before, Dr. Ardonda Lynch. How's their money situation? Any idea what they're looking at?
Nothing close to that.
Okay.
And we're focused on not only the money piece, because that's only part of it. The endorsements is important.
Who's with you? Who's already endorsed?
Yeah, we've been fortunate to have two former congressmen of CD23, Henry Bonilla and Kiko Canseco, endorse us. What I'm most excited about is to have Mike and Kyle from Sons of Liberty. In my eyes, look, it's not to have the political elites. That's good, but you have regular people, right? Our message is the American dream, and Mike and Kyle, they're the American dream, and we have to keep that alive. We have to fight this socialist movement.
Look, a couple of big things have popped up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've discussed them on the broadcast before. We've talked about Second Amendment issues. We've talked about gun control here in San Antonio. It is a hot topic, obviously. People have lost their lives in the last 30 days in our state. And there's a movement for change of some type, form, or another. And there's also a movement to protect constitutional rights. So give me a rundown real quick about how you feel about the Second Amendment issue versus these mass shootings, and where you would focus your time as a congressman.
Absolutely. I think it starts with the Constitution, okay? If we start unraveling the Constitution, we start unraveling the Second Amendment, what's next? The Fourth Amendment? Are people just going to come into our homes and take whatever they want? So we have to be very careful with that. There is no doubt that there is an evil that is rising in our country and around the world. It's just, how do you combat that evil, right? And a lot of people don't want to talk about what are they doing. I look at it and go, wait, first off, what am I doing for myself? What am I doing for my family and for my community? Am I strengthening that? Are we talking about religious moral values? Is that important to us? And I think we're losing that. And I think so. Everybody has a legislative solution to it. Man, you start unraveling the Second Amendment, and we get on a very slippery slope.
When you get elected to Congress, we'll speak it into existence.
Yeah.
When you get elected to Congress, give us and people who are listening who will watch this when we're streaming it after the fact and everything.
Sure.
Give us the 2 or 3 things, man, that are going to be most important to you. I'm talking about when you hit the hill on day one. You've assembled the team, everybody's with you. You're walking in, and you're representing San Antonio. And this thing goes all the way to West Texas, man. This is the biggest congressional district, right?
Yeah.
In the nation.
It is. Yeah, it's bigger than 30 states.
Okay,
it's massive.
2 or 3. Which are the top 2 or 3 things? And by the way, your man Mike Mahalski just joined.
Oh,
and I
there
do
you go,
need to
Mike.
reiterate my solemn disappointment that I'm wearing a Bill Miller's T-shirt, and he's wearing Sons of Liberty Gunworks. So Mahalski, thank you very much. There will be no breakfast tacos for you. No soup for you. Okay, so
absolutely.
Top 2 or 3 items.
So here's the thing. So first off, I've been on Capitol Hill. I was a Senate staffer for Marco Rubio for a year and a half. So, and I really cut my teeth and learned the legislative process. I think that's important. So I'm going to be, once I get elected, I'm going to be a freshman congressman that doesn't, I know where the bathroom is, right? I know how to get around and kind of operate things, and that's important. So some areas that are extremely important to me is free enterprise. Okay, we have this socialist movement that is trying to destroy the American dream. We have to fight that, right? And free enterprise is part of it.
Give me a policy, social engineering policy that you're seeing. Give me
a social
one of these social programs, right?
Oh yeah.
When you talk about social,
absolutely.
Give some specifics.
Yeah.
Tell me one of the ones that it's a great example. I know there.
Prime example, Medicare for all. All right, let's shove Medicare for all down everybody's throat. Healthcare is extremely important. Do we need to talk about it? Absolutely. But guess what has been successful? Free market, right? Let's bring the cost down. Let's talk about that. Not insurance. You try to add it with insurance. That's not going to solve the problem. So free market works.
Green New Deal. I always like talking about that because hey, AOC and the Green New Deal, right? I mean, here we are.
That's another one. Is climate change? Is the climate changing? Absolutely. Are humans to blame for it? Maybe, sure, however you want to look at it. But what can we do as a country or a city, right? You look at it, this is a global issue. The United States needs to be a global leader and talk about how everybody can bring it. You can shut all the emissions you want in San Antonio. What are you going to do? You bite off your nose in spite of your face? It's not going to work.
So day one, got the staff and the team. You're in there fighting socialist programs,
absolutely.
Right? Which is where we're seeing the politics going. And look, that both sides, Republican and Democrat, have extremists. So this isn't just the Democrats don't have the market cornered on extremism. They've got their far left strategies. In fact, some of these are getting enacted here in San Antonio as we speak right now. We have our own Green New Deal. We're doing paid sick leave, all these things that are coming into the system. Good or bad, there are programs that are socially re-engineering San Antonio coming into effect right now here. And it's statewide and it's national. So you've got that thing. Point 2, what are you going to fight for?
National security. Look, I fought the Taliban in Afghanistan. I fought ISIS in Iraq. And the way I look at it, the way the country's going, I have to fight socialism in Washington. Okay, so national security is of utmost importance to me. In this district, border security is part of that and plays part of that. I'll give you an example. So the Pentagon just had to pony up $3.6 billion to fund part of the wall. This isn't an executive branch issue. President Trump gets plenty of play and people want to bash him for it, but this is a legislative branch issue. It is Congress's job, and it's already been solved. It's already been approved, but it's Congress's job to appropriate these funds. We shouldn't be funneling funds from the Pentagon in order to fund something that Congress should already be doing. So that's number 2, and then number 3 is veteran affairs. Look,
there you go.
18 years of my career was at war, right? And you look at people and you go, oh, you look fine. You have all your limbs and arms and everything's fine. But you have, people that haven't served in that capacity, you have no idea what that veteran goes through to wake up in the morning or go to bed at night. Or even more, what their family goes through. When you're going through deployment after deployment after deployment, your family is taking a beating. So I think that's one thing that we have to do. We have to elect Iraq and Afghanistan veterans to lead our country, and that's what I plan to do.
Well, Veterans Affairs, and we've seen how that department works. It's a cabinet level department, was elevated in the past, and it has been one of the greatest shames, I think, of our federal government is what we've done, what we have not done for veterans in our country. Now, veterans get a lot of benefits and things like that, and I get and I understand that. People will say that, hey, they're already well taken care of. But men and women who have served, right, and you're right, I think you hit the nail on the head when you say it's not just a missing limb or maybe you're a Purple Heart awardee or something because you've taken a bullet, you've been hit by shrapnel, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's also the mental aspect,
Sure.
PTSD, and the sacrifices your families and everybody has paid. And I think that what we've done in the Veterans Affairs Administration has been really a disappointment for people. And look, this San Antonio is Military City USA.
That's right.
Even San Antonio City Council even trademarked that. I mean, we trademarked it. They created a logo for it, right? But it's not enough just to have a logo that says you're Military City USA.
Yeah.
I think you have to get out there and you have to really put a policy behind the slogan.
Absolutely.
And get up there and fight for it. So I think that's critically important, that whoever holds that seat understands the importance of Veterans Affairs. And I'm glad you included that, because not often one that makes it into people's top 3 or 4 things they want to get after. I always talk about, healthcare, immigration,
Sure.
Gun control. So all the big time ones make the top of the list.
Of course.
But the Veterans Affairs, I'm thankful you mentioned that one. So that's huge. Anything else you want to wrap up here before we, anything kick in your mind, any last second pitches to people who are just getting to know you?
Yeah, no, I want to say that, look, 2020 is going to be an important election, and we need people to realize if how Texas goes, so goes the rest of America. And, there's this socialist movement that is real. It is taking hold. And if we don't do anything about it, we're going to wake up in America. We're going to make up in a Texas that no longer looks the way that we were raised in it, right? So I need people to come out, support, right? Beyond the funding and knocking on doors. And it starts on Thursday, right? So kickoff rally, Thursday, 7 p.m., Orsinger Park. Come out. Look, this isn't a regular political campaign, right? I've never served in public office before, and I'm ready to bring a different energy to this race.
Well, look, man, I appreciate it. And I think we'll wrap up with 2 points. One point is I just think you hit the nail on the head again with where our politics are going.
Right.
And San Antonio is a perfect example of that. When we think about who we are as a city, the things we're doing in our community.
Yeah.
Whether it's climate adaptation and action plans, right? So we're sitting out there creating our own Green New Deal here. The mayor has his own Green New Deal. We're coming in, we're having conversations about gun control and those types of things in our city. We don't know what the city council is going to do with that. We keep running around doing proclamations on and immigration issues are rampant in your municipalities and cities. So the point I want to make when I wrap up this one key point is that all the things you're talking about, Tony, aren't just federal issues.
That's right.
They have invaded, right? They're now in the basic city council conversations. So no longer can you say, man, that stuff just happens up in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And those crackpots up there are working on that. I don't trust one of them, right? That people don't. I would imagine that the public approval ratings today for politicians, period, is probably pretty bad. But it's probably as worse as it's ever been, unfortunately. But that's where we're at as a politics in left, right, conservative, liberal, whatever it is, progressive. Conservative. When we look at the whole thing, though, know that it's in our cities.
That's right.
And if you don't engage it now, these policies and these actions, these items, if you don't learn stuff like we're doing here tonight, then what's going to happen is all that bubbles up, and eventually it's not your neighborhood; it becomes San Antonio policy changes, and then it's not San Antonio; it's Austin.
Yeah.
And then
it just
Austin
grows.
is D.C.
That's
So
it.
all these things grow. And you have to give credit, I give credit to any political machine. The Democratic Party has been really honing in on cities. And they're taking over city councils and they're working their processes. Republicans and those groups have spent a lot of time in Washington, D.C., and they're not as built into the city machinery as they should be.
Sure.
2020 is going to be a great political year. If you love politics, it's going to be the greatest year. I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
So point one is thank you for being here. Thank you for your service,
Yeah, of
first and
course.
foremost.
Absolutely.
And you're fighting to serve again. We appreciate that. I think your points are well made. We invite anybody on there that come and talk to us. Anybody wants, wherever you're running, Democrat, any seat, you let us know. You come on and we'll spend 15, 20 minutes with you talking about the future. But before you go, I was attempting to publicly humiliate you earlier with your truck. Okay, so I met Tony to ask him to come on the broadcast, and we were talking a little bit about it. And then I went out to my truck. As you notice, my truck's on the right there. It's got the north side sticker, police and fire. Yes, that's a fleur-de-lis on there. I'm sorry. I'd like the Cowboys too, but I'm also a Saints fan. Yeah, and then look at Tony's truck. Yeah, Tony, you got it. You got it out texting me, bro. You're trying to be the congressman for the 23rd congressional district.
I got up my game.
Yeah, you need to up your game.
You know what? And
you need to up or more than up the game. You need to up the truck.
You know what? In my defense, I died 3 months ago.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I died 3 months ago. And here's the deal. I was in the hospital, and my wife and I got a kitchen pass to go vote for you.
Oh,
You hit it earlier on why it was so important to be involved in not only city, state, and federal. It's involved on all different levels. Is you got to do these things. We're seeing the results of why we didn't have 2,000 more kitchen passes that were given out, right?
Yeah.
So
hey, every vote counts. I think
does.
more so than we've ever seen in our politics. The mayoral elections, separated the distance between myself and Ron Nuremberg was super close. Nobody expected it, but that's where the politics are. I have a feeling that your fight with Gina Ortiz-Jones is going to be super close. But if you're out in West Texas, brother, you need to get a lift kit.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Hey man, we need to do a fundraiser for a Tony
there
lift
you go.
kit.
There you go. I like
because
that.
Don't ever park next to me again, bringing that lame game on the truck. I'm just kidding. We wish you the best of luck.
Absolutely.
And anybody else in that race wants to come in and talk and just have a conversation about why they're running for office, let us know. Brother, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
your Sons of Liberty Gunworks t-shirt game
excited to have them on
is
board.
on point. Thank you, my friend.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Trey Box just put in there in regards to the truck. Brutal. I think Siri picked on you as well too, right there. I think Siri said you needed to get a lift kit. Had to, we're after you, Tony. We love you. We appreciate you. But we're here to have some fun and talk about things that matter most in politics in San Antonio. So let's get a couple of updates in Saulo. Gun control update. We had Mike Mihalski on here last week. The city council, Councilman Manny Pelaez, has been conducting town halls on mass shootings and gun violence. So there's a lot coming. We may engage some of that in the future. But we'll put up the piece about Walmart. So in case you hadn't caught the news today, which news seems to be, of course, dominated by Hurricane Dorian, but this came out today as well. So Walmart's going to stop selling certain types of gun ammunition. They will also prevent patrons, customers. Hello, I almost lost my mind right there. They're going to prevent customers as well from open carry in their 4,700 United States stores. First of all, I didn't know there was 4,700 Walmarts in the United States. I was sitting there doing the math. I'm like, 50 states. Some of these states don't have a lot of people in them. 4,700 Walmarts, and the CEO released this as well. You cannot open carry in there anymore. You can still conceal carry, and they're still going to sell ammunition, sporting rifles, shotguns, that type of thing. But they're going to stop selling. I don't think they sell handguns, but they sell handgun ammunition. They're going to eliminate that. So look, that's a big opening as well. And then you've got some other things popping up on here. A good update here is Beto O'Rourke. I'm curious what people think about this. Put up Beto O'Rourke. So Beto drops the F-bomb on TV, uses phrase on T-shirts. We got that video. This guy's a character, man. He does whatever he can to get publicity. Like, you're running for office, man. No such thing as bad press, I guess. But can you run that guy's video? This is
address the fear the government is going to take away those assault rifles, as you call them, if you're talking about buybacks and banning.
Yeah. So I want to be really clear that that's exactly what we're going to do. Americans who own AR-15s, AK-47s, will have to sell them to the government. We're not going to allow them to stay on our streets, to show up in our communities, to be used against us in our synagogues, our churches, our mosques, our Walmarts.
Wow. So, the conversation there is pretty stark, right? It's not we're going to encourage. No, it's we're going to tell you you're going to sell back your AR-15s or whatever, any automatic weapon that they deem a danger. They're going to take that back. I mean, Beto O'Rourke couldn't be any more clear on that. So this conversation on Second Amendment issues is coming, and it's going to get more intense. So it's a tough time, obviously, with the heated emotions and the things that have happened specifically in Texas, in our state. You're going to see the governor. I think the Texas Speaker of the House came out today as well and is forming a committee There's a lot of moving parts to this conversation. It hasn't ended yet, and it's going to keep on. At the end of the day, when Mike Mahalski was here last week, we had great conversation. Before that was the former District Attorney Nico LaHood. We talked about the rules and laws of how the Second Amendment, the Constitution, those things. Just don't forget, we all care about the same things. So just because we talk about it on the broadcast doesn't mean it's a controversial issue. I think in this piece, everybody loves America. We have a different point of how we're going to try to fix it. All right, and some of us in our politics and our dialogue, some of us blame the shooter, some of us blame the weapon, some of us want to change the law, some of us want background checks, some of us want red flags, more enhanced mental health. I mean, it doesn't matter where you come at it on the issue. I think you have to make sure that we're at least having the conversation and being factual. And what we've seen with other folks out there having like these town halls and the other thing, so far in San Antonio, we've been pretty respectful in the conversation. So there's a lot coming with that, and we just can't stop having the dialogue, because at the end of the day, we're going to elect people in 2020. 2020 is going to be probably the biggest political year in the history of our republic, just because of what's at stake and how people are so internally shallow. I mean, it's personal now. It's so personal that I think people are going to come out in droves to vote, and things like this are what can turn an election. So keep an eye on it. But here's a fun one. I just want to put up that Ted Cruz one. I can't wait for this debate. If it's real. Now, I don't know if this is real or not, but I promise you, I pray, when I saw this, I prayed this was legitimate. Alyssa Milano challenged Ted Cruz. We all remember Alyssa Milano. She, by the way, is a prolific tweeter. That's not a bad word. She's a prolific tweeter. So she's on Twitter, and she knocks out, 60,000 tweets over the last couple years. It's crazy. But she tweeted at Ted, I can't even believe I said that. She tweeted at Ted Cruz. It just sounds ridiculous, right? She tweeted at Ted Cruz that she wanted to debate him over gun control and gun legislation. So this is Alyssa Milano's tweet. Can someone cite which passage of the Bible God states it is a God-given right to own a gun? This guy is unbelievable and is clearly owned by the gun lobby. So Ted Cruz comes back and says, an excellent cue. And for those of you non-Twitters, that means excellent question. Worth considering carefully without the snark of Twitter. It is, of course, not the right to a modern-day firearm that is God-given. Aha! But rather the right to life and the right to liberty. Essential to that right to life is the right to defend your life and your family. Wow. So Who's the Boss got mic dropped right there by Ted Cruz. And actually go back to the other one. I think there's another one where he actually accepts her Twitter challenge. And right there, Ted Cruz accepts Alyssa Milano's challenge to debate gun violence. How do you feel about that? Oh, well, Sally, you got some thoughts on that one. Yep. So I hope, and she says she's going to go into Ted Cruz. Is there another one up there? I think there may be one more. This is so awesome. I so hope she live streams this. Because by the way, there's another one where Alyssa Milano initially challenges him, and he accepts the challenge, and this is the news story. But let's all pray for a minute that Alyssa Milano actually conducts this debate with Ted Cruz, because I think the comedy value of this, a constitutional scholar, right, and Alyssa Milano, the actress, and don't get me wrong, I think there are actors and actresses that can, most likely Hollywood types, that can debate and carry arguments and discussions and do that. But as most of us know, we think it's ridiculous. I don't know about how you feel about it, but when Hollywood jumps in to tell us how we should live our lives, I think most of us wish that piece of California would fall off into the ocean, right? Nobody wants to hear a movie star telling us about our politics, whether it's Taylor Swift or Alyssa Milano or whoever. Those ridiculous takes, they make no sense to us. And I think it really pisses off most of the country when we hear it out of Hollywood. So that's why I'm hopeful this is legitimate and we can get after this debate. It will be a teachable moment, we call these in the business world. And she wants to live stream it. This is going to be good. This is going to be really good. Okay? Yeah, she's going to, wow. Salo just said, I don't know if you heard that in the background, but Salo just said she's going to find out who's the boss. Salo, that was fantastic. And I wish I would have thought of that. I'll just drink this Bill Miller's right here. That'll make the public happy right now. All right, so check that one out. We're going to follow that one. We're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to tweet, live stream. If that thing goes on TV, we are all over it. You know what? I'm going to skip ahead here because we're running. Man, we're already at 9:51. Tony and I, man, Tony, you took too much time, bud. Yeah, go to the big idea, the Brockton Loaded piece. Play that Alex Fleming. Let me set this up real quick, though. So a few weeks back, we had Alex Fleming on one of our shows from Pastor Alex Fleming from Life Restored Church. And he was running into problems with his facility and zoning and development services and platting, and he was getting fined for it. Alex and his team feed and shower the homeless down around Haven for Hope on Arbor Street. So we got in touch with him. He came on the show. We spent a lot of time together. And tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, Pastor Alex is going to have a press conference, and he's going to talk about some things we've been working on. So one of the things I was always hopeful that the broadcast would be is that we would take the conversation and turn it into something. It's not enough just to sit here at this building and lob bombs from the cheap seats and say this is terrible. You have to have some ideas and then turn them into something policy-driven. So we worked with Pastor Fleming, and we came up with some ideas, and we're going to announce that tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and we'll follow up with it. But it's around taking care of churches and nonprofits so they can do their community work. The less government intervention in that, the better. And if we are working with them, right, if the government's working with the faith-based community around homeless issues, great things are going to happen. Play Pastor Alex's clip so people can see this, and I think it's powerful.
Know that tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Life Restored Church, we are going to be holding a press conference to propose a city ordinance to the city of San Antonio. This ordinance was helped written by Mario Hune, Greg Brockhouse, and myself. And so we are going to be presenting it tomorrow at Life Restored Church. What it pretty much says is that any nonprofit, any church, any ministry that is helping the poor, the less fortunate, people experiencing homelessness, if you're doing it for 3 days or more a week, in other words, this is a primary focus of yours, then when it comes time for your building permits, when it comes time for inspections, certificate of occupancy, when it comes time for your zoning, that it would be, those fees would be waived or at a super discounted rate. And so what we want to do is we want to partner with the city. We want to say, look, city, instead of tying our hands, the faith community, the faith-based community, instead of tying our hands, man, cut us loose, turn us loose, and look what that type of partnership can be, where we complement each other, because not one thing has all the answers. We don't have all the answers. The city doesn't have all the answers. But together, working together, man, we can fill in the gaps. We could complement each other, and we can really together make the biggest dent in homelessness that our city has ever known. So this is a proposal, an ordinance proposal to the city council. We need a city council member to adopt it, push it forward into governance, so that way this could go into place. Man, imagine the people, how much more people we can help. And that's what it's about. For us, that's what it's about. It's about nothing else but helping people and restoring lives. So I'm inviting every Christian leader, every pastor to 400 Arbor Place tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the news press conference about this city ordinance proposal that we're going to propose to the city. I hope to see you guys there. Come on out. God bless you. That's tomorrow, 10 a.m., Life Restored Church, 400 Arbor Place. Invite people, bring them out. We got about 100 chairs in to fill the place, so God bless. Thanks.
Wow. So I got to tell you, I think Pastor Alex hit the nail on the head there. And look, so we also do the Brockton Loaded segment, right? And where we sit here and we talk about something that's important in our city. And it's something that gets us really motivated, or something that I think, man, I just wish this would happen in our community, right? So we call it Brockton Loaded because, you know what, it's a no holds barred take for no more than like a minute or so, where we have the tough conversation. And this is the Brockton Loaded. This is the actual taking our conversation here on the show and turning it into something. So you can't, and I agree, people have called and said, Greg, you've got to be more, right, than just pointing out all the negative. What is an answer or a solution for this? And tomorrow, we're going to have a solution. Whether or not the city council chooses to do it or not, that's on them. But you know what? But if the citizens, right, like Pastor Alex If he's able to come up with an idea and then go to City Hall and present that idea, and he tried, and here's what's interesting about Pastor Alex. He tried to go to the city and get help, and he didn't. His council person would not listen to him. He received no help, so he started reaching out. That's how, by the grace of God, we got into contact with him, and he came on the show, and then we recognized a couple of key points. Number one is we want to make sure that the dollars we are making as a city to go to the things that are needed most in our community, right? Priorities, where we spend our dollars matters most. We have a massive homeless situation in our city, but it's not as bad as Austin, and it's definitely not San Francisco, but we don't want to get there with bad policies and lacking public safety concerns, and then taking organizations like our churches and nonprofits and then mistreating them. And by the way, it's homeless persons, right? It's the near homeless. It's their pets as well. But I don't know if you knew this or not, but the pet is a very critical and important piece to a homeless person. They have pets. So how we take care of the pet, it's just this whole issue needs to be taken care of. And the city must partner with nonprofits and churches. And tomorrow, we're going to see this culmination, at least where Pastor Alex, and we'll be down there at this press conference at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And hopefully it'll get on the news because it deserves recognition. Because he's already been on the news when his church was fined $2,000, or a little bit more than $2,000 for zoning and platting issues, development services issues. The problem with that is imagine if the city didn't levy those fines and he didn't pay him. He didn't have to pay him. How much of that $2,000 would go to food or a cup of coffee or a coat for somebody who's freezing? It's going to be winter here soon enough. Yes, it's 110 degrees right now, but sometime in January it's going to be 30, and someone could lose their life on the street. But that $2,000 that the city fined a church or nonprofit for could be turned back into food, clothing, a haircut, a shower. Those homeless situations, they can be solved by work. It's not ever going to be completely solved. We know that as a community, as a city, but we can never stop. It's one of them things like, well, it's an acceptable level that only 18 people will get killed in the city in vehicle accident. No, that you always want to strive for zero. So you strive for zero, and in this case, what we need to do is let the churches and the nonprofits really do that work and get City Hall and the city staff the heck out of there. Right? Just help them, guide them through the process. Don't fine them or turn churches in the faith community against the city. It's not this. And Pastor Alex was about Salo, I would tell you, as kind and open-hearted about it, even though he's been mistreated. What happened for him in the process didn't work. But he's here saying, let's work together, because together the churches and the nonprofit community can really get great things done. And I think we got to get all over that. We'll follow up next week with what Pastor Alex did. I'm going to film some of it tomorrow. It's going to be great. Hopefully you'll see it on the news. But that's the broadcast in action. So that's the call out. The Brockton Loaded is to us as well, which is don't just come on this show and complain. I'm with you 100%. Tomorrow we're going to have our first fix and we're going to get after it, and we're not going to quit trying to make San Antonio better than what it is today. And we all have different ways to get there. And if we've learned anything about our community over the last 6 months, over elections, over all these things, is that we are believing it and seeing it differently as a community, and we are split and divided. That doesn't mean anybody's wrong. What it means at this point is we're going to have to vote it, we're going to have to follow it, we're going to have to get educated, and we're going to have to make the right choices next year. And that includes folks like Tony Gonzalez, or even, people are going to be voting for Gina Ortiz-Jones. We've got Commissioner Wolf stepping down. We've got state representatives. It's all over the map right now. So let's get after it and do the best we can working on it together. So bit of a hope for tomorrow morning, and we'll see some more information on that coming soon. So let's close it up here. We're at 9:59, so we got about 5 minutes here. And of course, on the broadcast, whenever we finish up, we do memes. We started with some fun stuff. The fearless bar patron on smoking his cigarette. We're going to close it up with several memes. And I got a bunch of them that were sent in to me. So this one was sent by a good friend from AAA Bail Bonds, Louis Garcia. I saw this out there. I'm giving Louis complete and total credit on this one right here. So Louis, thank you for this. And thank you, AAA Bail Bonds. And by the way, if you mention Brockhouse, I think you may get a discount at the AAA Bail Bonds. I sincerely hope you never have to use a bail bonds. Okay, anyways. So check this meme out. When Bexar County inmates get tired of jail, there he is right there. I'm a head out. I'm sorry. It's fun. Look, you got to be able to laugh at yourself, okay? I mean, this isn't the end of the world, right? We made fun of a congressional candidate's truck a minute ago. All right, well, there's no holds barred. Next, what do we got here? Ah, yes, my wife. Credit to my wife who sent me this one right here. My husband was afraid his car might blow away. My car is in the garage. Hurricane Dorian. Okay, that is not a masculine car. That was there. We went back to The Godfather again. I hope your first car is a masculine car. That is not. His car is in his kitchen. That's a smart car. Now, don't get me wrong. That's got AOC and Green New Deal and San Antonio Climate Action and Adaptation Plan written all over it. That is a total Green New Deal parking spot right there. Right next to that, I don't know if that dog is a stuffed animal or what is that right there. Look at it, there's two of them. So that car could actually fit in the back of my pickup truck. So here's how I feel about removing the combustible engine and going carbon neutral. This is how I feel about it. I will take that little car and put it in my truck and drive it around. So I've taken 2 vehicles and only used one by using that little, I can't even call that a car, man. There's got to be 2 feet popping out at the bottom of that, and he's got to be scooting along like that. That's the only way that thing moves. So smart cars and smart car drivers, many apologies. I love you. But if you're going to be cool, buy an electric car. Okay, so next one. I just had to show Jim Kardashian. I don't know why. It is freakily and eerily weird to me, but I thought you would enjoy Jim Kardashian. Thank you to the person who sent that, who asked not to be named, but I thought it was hilarious. Jim Kardashian. Ah, yes. This is a political insider joke. Ladies, there's this whole meme world going on about ladies, if he, and then they put it whatever, if he, and then it's got redacted lines. He's not your man. He's Attorney General Bill Barr. Come on, man. If you like politics, you got to like that joke, right? That's a redaction joke right there. Good job, Marissa. Ah, I love this one too. Your father and I aren't angry with you, just disappointed. Look at that. I think. Yeah. That actually probably is actual looks. I think my mom and dad were watching a little bit ago, so I would tell you that I think I've seen that look. Yeah, that's a John Jay look right there. I got that when I was at John Jay. I'm pretty sure. All right, next one up. Okay, I pray to God Waffle House makes it to San Antonio. So downtown.
What's good? Because I've never tasted waffle.
Well, you've never had a waffle? I was going to say, we're exposing a lot of toxic masculinity issues here tonight. If you've never eaten a waffle.
Never been to a waffle house.
Okay, all right. I was about to throw something at you.
Are they that good?
They're excellent. Their waffles are fantastic. I hate to say it. Compared to anybody. I mean, Jim's, the Waffle House beats their waffles. Magnolia Pancake House, though, is pretty good. I got to throw them the props. Waffle House, that could be a good battle royale right there, Waffle House. Waffle House is more an environment. It's like a gas station place where you go buy waffles. I don't know if that makes sense. It's the whole atmosphere. We got anything else out there? All right. Enough of the Waffle House. But tonight I'm going to go home and eat some waffles. And they're keto too. Or South Beach diet. One of the two. I'm not sure. Ah, man. Technical difficulties. So I'll start quoting more Godfather lines for you till the next meme comes up. We're done? The computer canned on the Waffle House. Oh, we're back. Yes. That's a wonderful picture right there. That's actually after the first week of school, right there. Oh yeah, this is perfect. This is my best one right here. This is the best one. Moms be like dropping my angel off at school. So, don't take that one off yet. This meme is for all the teachers out there that have gone back to school this month in August. This is what we're thinking about, because moms are dropping off their kids at school like, little mijo is going to do fantastic this year. I love my son. He's the greatest. My angel does nothing wrong. He's a fantastic kid. He speaks dual language. He's great. This kid is he's Mensa. Future Einstein. All right? This kid has got Einstein potential. Here you go, Mrs. Brockhouse. Here's my angel. And then she goes and gets him out of the car on the roundabout. You know how they go around, they drop off the kids in the morning? And there it is right there. That's a kid. Moms be like dropping my angel off at school. So to all you teachers out there, and I saw Kelly Rasty was out there commenting too. That one's for you. I know you're a teacher. My wife's a teacher. My mother-in-law, Mary Sandoval, worked in education as well. John Glenn Elementary School. So all of those teachers out there, that's for you. I love this one because I happen to love Neil Armstrong stories. Been watching First Man a lot on TV here lately. Neil Armstrong was the first person to land on the moon. Neil A spelled backwards is alien. Delete that shit right now. Oh, I said a bad word. My wife's gonna get mad. My wife's gonna get mad right now. But by the way, if you're gonna storm Area 51, please let us know. We'd love that live feed. I think there's a group of people that want to storm Area 51. What we got? Anything else left up there? Okay, there's no better thing to end on than ragging the Texas A&M Aggies. It just makes sense in the world. It feels good. It's healthy. I think it's a healthy release to make fun of an Aggie, and I do that for my friend Clayton Perry from City Council, representative of District 10. My, how far the mighty have fallen. Johnny Manziel, I caught this. This is a Brockhouse meme right here. I saw this one today. Actually saw the commercial. He is doing this direct auto insurance. Yeah, this is bad. Didn't make it in the Canadian Football League, and I saw this, and I'm like, yeah, no. And he's doing a little money sign, right? Remember he would do the money? Yeah. So he would make his, he'd score a touchdown. He'd turn around, make his. Yeah, hey, man, I'm not making that joke. That was Salo. But yes, my Texas A&M closeout joke always makes sense. There's no better way than to Clayton Perry. That one was for you if you're ever watching the show. That is an Aggie joke to close out the night. So we are done and wrapped up. We didn't even get to everything we wanted. We want to thank Tony Gonzalez for coming on. Look, he's running for Congress, Congressional District 23. It's a big race. There's 2 other Republican candidates in that field. Gina Ortiz-Jones on the other side. It's going to be one hell of a race to watch. Like we said earlier, 2020 is going to be probably the biggest political year this country's ever seen. We've got Kevin Wolf stepping down. Precinct 3's opened up. We got state rep seats on the line, state senator seats. It's just going to be a huge year. And, of course, the president's up for re-election. And you know what? It has gotten as personal, and the vitriol, all of it is going to come in 2020. And the number one thing I recommend to you, no matter what, just stay educated. All right? You can believe what you want to believe. And this is the thing I'll just say about me, that I like to value about the broadcast and who I am as a former elected official and someone who's staying involved in the politics is, man, bring the best you've got. Let's talk about it. Let's argue it. And then we can part friends or just part people who had a respectful conversation. And it's not the end of the world. Everybody who comes, I don't go home at night and sit there and reminisce about getting mistreated. I just sit there and say, hey, look, we had a good conversation. We went for it. That's what you need to do. That's what the broadcast is about. It's about ideas and information and making sure you take what you believe. And I don't give a damn what it is. It's on you. It's your thoughts. It's what you want for your family. And then go make it happen. Stand up for what you believe in and put an argument on the table. And if it goes your way, it doesn't. And if you win, you win. I think that's how it goes. That's the beauty of the democracy, right? That's the beauty of the vote. There is no better scorecard, no better scoreboard than a public vote. So let's hold City Hall accountable. Let's not let them get away with crap behind closed doors. Let's make sure the information's out there and we shine a light on it. And that's the number one remedy for any problem this country has, light, right? You put a light on it and things start to happen when people have to account for their actions and activities. So like this page, share it, push it out there. Let's keep growing this. It's your movement. We're coming into a great fall here. City Council's busy. We're busy. We've got ideas. Thank you, Salo. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Charlie, over in the corner. We're going to wrap this one up. We will see you next Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, for another episode of the broadcast. We are out.